I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat, if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor, common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxburn office, greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing, and I know read at sporadic intervals. Agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees?
nagalit.
What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice!
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload have been shifted to all available staff, so as to not lose time. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. Purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge, and I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The right. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants this sale to happen as much as I do. Now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet. Documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with these stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. Just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all. More. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them. Spoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. Doesn't take me long to finish what we're. In fact, having our boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Anna calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday. Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name, it shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for and the process contracts like these undergoes. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest, as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. Can't tell if it's purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they're buying, or simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then? Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there."
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it. Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am. Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan, after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
Quickly folds something into both our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips, demanding our silence.
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion. Did I mention we reward our people generously? But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this. Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
She smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact. Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible. I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. Mine still reeling, and after they've left, other agents would kill to have clients like them. Part of me feels lucky about the fact, no lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, you sold a haunted property to innocent client. Sure, the commission is big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all four of my younger siblings. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. Don't have to go back to the mansion as well, once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too, aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
Flings an arm over my shoulders and then closer to my ear as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. Saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned, eventually, I had to. Someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. Small connection, due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
He throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch day. One considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too. In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We have agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around close. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Much like its facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces, a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in a casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance, the kind born purely out of differing interests. That, or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. Not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I am a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened?
I am back.
Hello, Bak.
Hello.
I thought for sure you're going to snub us for the better part of the week.
Conversation yung Nino.
Yung customer.
Oh. Ano?
Anyways, what's the happenings?
Ano na? Tapos na yung sa office, yung sa binigyan tayo ng bonus.
Oh,
Tapos,
rich kid na siya. Rich kid na.
Rich kid na siya. Nabenta na ang mansyon.
Yung
But yan, nandito na tayo sa cafe. Malilibre na tayo. Big time na tayo eh.
big time.
You know, I can't stay angry at you guys. I was upset. I still am. But, well, something did happen this morning.
Oh yeah, sa ano mo, no? If I remember correctly, sa first playthrough mo, iba yung nangyari dito, di ba? Eh, dito sa playthrough na to, umuwi tayo eh.
Sa ano kasi sa playthrough ko nag-stay ako.
Oh, so, I'm guessing we're going the upper route dito. We'll see.
I think so.
Let's order food first, okay?
The waitress comes by to take our order. Normal day, me and Becca will order. We'll order.
You know read pare. You know read.
Oh my, I know read. We'll order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes. Tingnan natin ano. Nasa menu nila. Jar Puccino, bro.
Hindi ko mabasa eh. It's too small for my eyes.
Espresso? I'm not sure. Ito, Jar Fay Latte. Wow. The black.
Beach. Kago may beach. Beach yung nasa dulo, beach. Beach. Ano sa pinakababa?
Black. It's black, bro.
Black ba yun? I know rin pare. It's too
Yes,
small for
black.
my eyes.
Ano nga to? This is the Jar Box, bro. Jar Box coffee.
Ay puta, jar box ko.
Today's a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. He writes it nevertheless. Leaves without a Becca furrows her eyebrows. Bobong puta. Her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimand.
Don't worry, it's my treat.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mom. Small, sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Is that not fancy enough? Good.
Paris lang, okay na ako.
Why? Pero gago, maganda ang
maganda plating pa, maganda plating. Looks like a ghost.
Yeah.
Looks like a ghost. Scary.
Pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. Or at least that's what the daily specials board says. I never did pay any attention to it whenever I come here, since they price whatever's written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
Hey, not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out on my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh bummer, maybe I should rephrase it.
Instant noodle days are over. Ash is not here. So we should...
Mababa yung relationship for her. Yeah, but we're building up Rebecca, bro.
Buta, ang taas na nung pare, kay Best Grill.
Kanina. Ito
Kay Best Grill.
Oo.
Buta. Best Grill.
Ash is not in it. The instant noodle days are
Okay,
over.
let me do that again.
Boom, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yan, binabawi nga rin pala natin kay Zach, no?
Kay Zach, pare, kay Zach.
Baba nung...
Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I'm Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos and free from my instant noodle binge.
Aba ang pangalan eh.
Three names.
Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Anselm Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
She lets out a hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth before I could stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out?
Why are you such a Debbie Downer, bro?
Or just be happy for your friend.
Oh, just be happy. You're getting free food.
Free food.
Pan-roasted sea bass.
Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
Sana nagbayad na sila. In full, pare, in cash.
In full. Cash. Kaya nga may bonus ni.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, more like. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'd only worry.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it.
Rich people problems, man.
At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
You don't really think they believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle.
I am. Isabella is super stupid.
Isabella.
Oh, well, there's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
Ay, gago, di ko nabasa.
Why you no read, pare? Why you no read?
Hindi, pinapakinggan ko kasi yung ano eh. Yung
Yung
sound
plato.
effects. So, yung yung plate sound effects. I forgot to read that. I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me as I am about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. Okay lang, Derby.
Ilang.
I have to, do things.
Okay.
Like maybe time for 2 more sentences. Strange enough, talking about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. Laugh here, a playful jab there, but most of it is spent on catching up and telling stories about whatever's keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Then Becca's surprisingly chatty. There's something in the sea bass we ate. Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of a party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. Becca notices.
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
Pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry, as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her emotions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From how her tone rises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. Snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamp down on as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Fun fact. Bowbag, this one, bowbag, it means betlog. So, ayun, fun fact. Kasi na-curious ako dati. Oh, what's a bowbag? Sinerch ko, ginugol ko. So yeah, Volteb, scrotum,
Stick.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
Another fun fact, adinakin, this one, means I don't know. So yeah, we're learning things.
Oh, sugoy.
Language.
If you could call that a critique. Did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at any unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. Oh, an Octavia fashion. Fashion. Yung ano din,
Mamaya.
yung Phantasma Prime mo rin, dapat kakulay niya.
Hindi ka pa naayos. Mamaya ko naayusin.
He, of all people, should know.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. It's not petty. If they're well-known critics, it's not petty. It's a big thing, actually.
Alam mo ba? I find that critics are unnecessary.
Unnecessary?
Para sa akin lang.
Bakit?
Like, wala lang. Parang they don't matter as much for me kasi most of the time it's lalo sa movies it's very parang what's good for you may not be good for me kind of thing para sa akin
Preference talaga.
Preference thing. So sa food critic siguro pwede hindi preference din talaga eh. I don't know.
Pwede. Pero ewan ko kung totoo yun. Pero may nabalitaan din ako dati regarding sa mga critics. Meron daw iba, parang they are paid to do that kind of critique sa isang bagay. Like, for example, bayan sila para give this type of or this certain movie a bad critic. Parang a bad review pala.
Ulul.
Hindi ko lang kung totoo yun. If ever man, well, that's shit.
That's shitty.
That's
shitty
shit.
kung gano'n. Pero I agree din naman dun sa sinabi mo na it's not petty. Since, pinaglaanan niya ng oras tapos ganun lang.
Yeah.
It's not petty at all. Anyways.
Para sa mga viewers, kung may alam kayo tungkol dun, share it.
Share nyo sa amin.
Yes. We are curious. Going back, I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know, after all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Walang Sprite. Si Becca. Here.
Walang
Yung talking Sprite niya. Ito dito sa bottom left.
Di ba pagka nandiyan sila sa harap, wala namang Sprite, usually.
Ganun ba? Parang hindi ko ata napansin.
Ang usually na nagkakaroon ng Sprite is yung character na linalaro mo.
I didn't notice that. Anyway. Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Not anymore. You already spilled it.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two.
Eh,
I
nawala rin
need
si
some
Zach.
time alone to myself
Oh,
for a
man.
while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all, only a poor imitation of a puppy dog eyes. If you could call this one.
Promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. What's night ain't for another week.
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked. Not like it's over for me though. I still have time. I could still come back. Do my own thing, do what I really want to do. Surely, once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. The screen shows Rose.
Hey, Isabella. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Bakit pag si ano?
Don't, I'm kidding.
Pag si ano,
Pag si Becca yung tumatawag sa kanyang Bell, okay lang sa kanya. Pero pag tinatawag siyang Isabel ng ibang tao, ayaw niya.
I don't know, best friend.
BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
He states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about the awful state of Luxbourne's streets. All of which he says in a single breath that I can barely keep up and make out a single word. Yes.
Rapper, pare.
Rap god. Rap god pala si Rose. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next object of her frustration. He's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
When she has finally run out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the right interior designer in her stead. And
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. Journal updated. Gonna see the pan roasted sea bass. No?
Where?
No pan roasted sea bass.
Sa...
No.
Nasa main menu yun, nasa main menu.
The sky is cloudless and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe. It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood or make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxbourne remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fill the humid afternoon air. Small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Realty for me, back to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking a longing glance over something displayed on a shop window. Did she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. I turned my head at the last shop she checked out. Fleeting glimpse. The world stills. Ang ganda ng mannequin nila, gumagalaw. He looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, boring into my very soul, like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There are no shadows or whispers this time, only a plea, hum, low and indistinct, compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. Help me. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump, screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing strains in the face of her call. Help me.
Leave me alone.
Give me alone. Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. Panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. James Harden. Tumete. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, and the blood streaming from the gaping wounds on her arm or her nailless fingers. I don't want this. Not like this. Not after I got what I want for Papa.
No, stop. Leave me alone.
Her face contorts and she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please! I don't want this!
Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from the screams I didn't even notice already coming out of my mouth. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling on the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring my mind. For a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern is on her face, and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry, while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. He's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. Hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home at the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up anything to get the wretched sensation out.
You were
Sayang
screaming.
yung roasted sibas.
Oo nga, sayang yung roasted sibas pa. Minsan lang siya kumain nun. Susuka pa
Oo
niya.
nga. Sayang.
Zach, call someone!
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
What's the... Hey. Hindi naman mag-drawing.
Oo nga. Let's just blur her out since she's a ghost.
Oo nga. I attempt a smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as a grimace. Gently, I pushed her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Away. The humidity is stifling. Everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run. Good. The floor plans. You're supposed to go to
Uy,
the office.
oo nga. Where floor plans?
Oo nga. Bahala na daw. I'm going home. Nasa na tayo sa branching?
Alam ko
sa-
malapit na tayo matapos.
Ay, hindi pala.
Sa Isabella chapter.
Ano pala yun eh. Noodle days are over, so it's a choice.
Ah,
So here, we're most likely either up or bottom, I guess. Medyo malapit na yan.
I think we can end in this episode.
Yeah, I think we
Or in
can.
this,
You wanna read?
wait lang.
Okay, okay.
May sinasagutan lang ako. So, after nito, I
Sige,
should
sige. I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. Here, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. But even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. Loud. So loud. If only there was a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I've left open. My gaze shifts over the letter sitting on the coffee table. Its edges flutter innocuously as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or rip it to pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after that, what? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me. Knowing that she's real and might also go after the people I care about, I just wish someone would listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Frowning, I take a quick look at the clock on my bedside table. It's late. No one usually visits me around this hour, except maybe for...
Isabella? Are you in there?
Oh, here's the interaction scene. Kasi, di ba we decided na, to go home. So,
go home.
ito yan. This is what we see.
Oh, stoy.
Her tone is tentative, unsure, testing whether I'll respond or not. Any other day, she'll just enter the room after one knock. Today I think she's trying to be considerate. She knows I'm in here, and she can easily go inside since I've given her a copy of my key years ago. Purely on her insistence, of course, after she saw the state of my room. In her own words, like a hurricane passed through the place. Ever since...
Binagyo.
Oo nga eh. Kita-kita ang binagyo. Di naglilinis pare. Buti nga walang ipis eh.
Meron yan pare, meron. Hindi lang nakikita.
Nagtatago.
Nagtatako doon sa cup noodles.
Ever since, she'll drop by from time to time, either to share whatever she dished up, or help me clean. He knocks again, louder this time, albeit the kind with less urgency. I take that as my cue to answer the door.
Hey.
Hey there. Mind if I come in?
She holds out a paper bag to me. From inside, a savory aroma wafts into the air, making my stomach rumble rather loudly. Becca shoots me a knowing smile before she walks into my apartment like she owns the place.
I knew you missed dinner. I picked this up on my way home. Thought you'd like one too. Why is it so dark in here? Were you sleeping when I knocked?
I move to turn on the lights myself before she stretches her hand out for the switch.
Not really. I was just thinking.
About? Did you rearrange things again? Where are the plates?
Stuff. The cupboard to your right, top shelf.
Only the clinking of silverware could be heard as a hush fills the room, a sound both familiar and awkward. I can easily answer her previous question to cover for the lack of talk, but from her hurried movements and hesitant tone, I know she'll bring it up sooner. The food is just a ruse to get me to open my mouth. I'm unsure if I should kulang ng ano pare, ay kulang ng be, I should happy.
I should happy pa. I should happy or mad.
If I should be happy or mad that I have someone like Becca who knows me so well. Minutes later, she's pushing a plate into my hands and settles on the sofa opposite my seat at the edge of the bed.
Wala namang sopa eh.
Oo nga eh. Kaya baka nandito. We just don't see it, pare. Somewhere here. I don't know.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Oo nga. He sticks. Aha! Kulang na naman. Six fork. Kulang na. Anyway. She sticks a fork in her own dish, yet does not go beyond shoving the meat and peas around her plate.
Do not play with your food.
Oh nga. Not play with your food. She would have scolded me by now if I did the same in front of her. Shrugging, I look down at my food and...
It's pork? Are you sure you want to eat this?
Don't look at me like I'm feeding you poisonous stuff.
I know, but pork? You hate pork.
I don't hate it. I just don't like eating it on a regular basis. I can always burn it off with a few hours of jogging.
Parang si ano yun, no? Si Miggy. Diba? Alam mo ba yun? Kay Miggy. Hindi daw siya kumakain ng pork. What a guy. What a guy that guy, bro.
I don't buy it.
Anyway, what kind of monkey does not eat pork?
All monkey.
Why are you being picky about this? You're the one who doesn't even gain weight no matter how much or whatever you eat.
I was just asking. You threw a fit when I used pork in your stovies that one time.
It wasn't a good day to eat that? And what about you? You don't seem to be having a good day either. This afternoon?
Saan tayo narating? Sa baba? Oh, we took the longer route.
Oo nga eh.
What? I thought this was yung ano, yung route na yung sayo, di ba?
Hindi, kasi di ba yung interaction na yan is dahil nga nag-ano tayo. We went home.
Anyway. He opens the subject with the same finesse a bulldozer has. Nice. So that's a good sentence. Same finesse with a bulldozer. I might have laughed if we were talking about something else. I'm almost impressed she used to complain about my own tendency to do that. In the end, Becca simply gives up any pretense of eating and sets her own plate on the side table. She leans forward in her seat, clasping her hands together in her lap as her expression grows serious. It reminds me of that one time I got sent to the principal's office. I can neither recall when or why, the memory's vague now, considering the years. I remember squirming on my seat a lot, agonizing wait, and the intense desire to leave the room.
Belle, Isabella, what happened?
I spear a piece of meat and pop it into my mouth. It's good, but the taste doesn't really register. A shame.
What a shame.
Such a shame.
Time.
Walang ano eh, walang magtumas. Becca, sharp as ever, is quick to pick up on this and pushes through with her questions, forgoing her place in the couch to sit beside me. Not that...
Wait lang, lagout lang ako doon.
Okay.
Lagout.
Okay. Not that the concern is unwelcome, quite the opposite, really. Except the expectation that we'd fall into the same cyclical argument is there.
About yesterday, during Zach's movie, things didn't end well, and I guess. No, let me rephrase that. I just want to say I'm sorry. We're sorry. We were pretty harsh.
Oh shit. Wait.
Ano, what choice?
Yeah. Although I'm still upset about it, Becca seems sincere with her apology.
Save, pare. Save.
I was telling the truth. What's the... Oh, this is actually a hard, hard choice.
We save.
I'm guessing pag sinabi natin what's the point,
Mababawas.
mababa yung
Hindi ko mababawas.
relationship. Oo. Kasi, di ba, she's trying her best to figure out what's going on. Pag iniwasan lang natin parang mayamot siya. So let's go with the first one. I was telling the truth.
I was telling the truth.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
gagawin laki.
Oh my. That's what she said. Pero gago. Wala, yeah. Pupunuin natin yan, bro.
Oh, I'm sure yan.
Telling the truth. What is it that people often say? Words lose their meaning when you keep repeating them. And they do. My voice comes out as a whisper, an earnest plea. But its meaning rings hollow even to my own ears. How long are they going to keep asking me the same thing? How many times do I have to tell them that I've seen what I've seen before they believe me?
Is this it?
Becca picks up the letter from the table, and for the first time since this exchange started, I look up from my food. She inspects it in the same manner one does with something fragile, holding it with all the care in the world. Her stare lingers on the message printed on it. Something pensive sets in her face as she reads the lines over and over again. I want to stop her, take the paper away from her hands, hide it. Too late now, isn't it? It dawns on me how now that, maybe, yesterday's argument was also my fault. Because more than wanting them to believe me, I'm also running away from the guilt. From the idea that I've put my own friends in danger. And I'm afraid to do anything about it. I am a coward.
Sorry, I wasn't able to get a good look at it when Ash was holding it yesterday.
It isn't like it'll make a difference.
Where did you even find this?
The attic.
Attic where? The mansion?
Ano kaya yung ano? Kasi sa pagkakaalam ko, yung, di ba ito, yung the letter. Even though na there's so many branches or so many routes to take, meron siyang canon. Or, yung ba yung canon?
True ending.
Oh, hindi. Oh, of course, may true ending. Pero may route na yun talaga yung dapat na mangyari.
Like canon event.
Canon, yun talaga. Pero syempre, it's a games. So, gives us choices. Pero may route talaga. I'll try to look it up later. Kung ano talaga yung...
Siguro yung mga mahahabang route. Siguro yung...
Siguro. So, are we in the canon timeline? Ito, yung timeline na to. Is this the canon timeline?
Siguro.
Maybe.
Since kung story siya, it would make sense na yung mga mahahabang ang canon
Pwede.
event.
So, ito. Canon event to, mas mahaba. No? Canon.
I do not see your mouse, pare. I do not see your mouse.
I don't see my mouse?
Sa Discord.
Ah, yeah. The stream, kita naman yung mouse. Anyway.
You know, this might have a historical significance.
I doubt it. It was on the floor when I saw it.
So a prank then?
It's not a prank! That's the same thing I was telling you yesterday!
Then tell me what happened. I can't understand where you're coming from if you keep giving me short-clipped answers.
Galit.
Please?
Ay,
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Hindi siya galit. Nag-please, nag-please.
Nag-please siya, nag-please.
Nag-please.
Okay, have a nice day.
Okay, haba. Understandable. I fall silent. Becca's far from a person who believe in such things, yet
You really want to hear it?
he nods. I tell her everything from the moment I arrived at the mansion, my search for Rose, and what I saw. True to her words, she listens. Not in the same way a person hangs onto a storyteller's every word as if it's the only truth in the world, but in a manner of a person who has simply offered to lend an ear to someone who needs it does. Who needs it does. No personal opinions, no long arguments, whether it's the truth or not, just her undivided attention. And it's pleasant to be heard, that is.
Is it the same? This afternoon? When you... I've never heard you scream like that.
She was there.
She? Who is she? I'm missing a lot of things here, Belle.
Her! The ghost! She's just there, standing, calling for me.
On the streets? I don't...
On the window! Becca, it's her face when she looks at me. It's here, stuck in my head. I can't shake it off. There are voices, shadows asking for help. I don't know how. I don't know what she wants from me. Lord, I don't even know how to help myself right now.
My hands begin to shake. Balling them into fists, all I can do to keep them from moving. She may not be here, I may not be seeing her misshapen face smiling at me, but the dread remains. I don't want to be by myself. I don't want to be left alone with these haunting images again.
I'm sorry. I didn't know this has been bothering you like this.
Why are you apologizing?
Look at you. This isn't the Isabella I know. Any other day, you'd bounce back. You got what you wanted today. Your dad's gonna be okay. And yet here you are. Zach can tell. I'm sure Ash can as well. I'm probably the only one thinking of selfish reasons the day before.
Where exactly is this coming from, Becca?
I don't think she means to say that one out loud, judging by how quick her head snaps at my question.
Certain things. It's nothing. Don't get worked up about it. Anyhow, I should go. Try not to think about it, all right? You need your rest, and I've got papers to check and lesson plans to review for this week's class.
What? Why is that not written here?
Oh,
What?
I'll be next door if you need me.
off script na naman siya, pare.
Oh, hi.
It's always Becca.
My hands move automatically to grab the back of her shirt before she can take a single step away. I have no idea what came over me. Her apartment's next door. I can easily bother her if I need something. She said so herself. However, my trembling hands refuse to budge. I don't want to be alone.
Do you want me to stay?
Can you? Just until I fall asleep?
What are you, 5?
Yes. And 5, yes.
Please? I really, absolutely don't want to be left alone right now. I tried to sleep earlier. Last night, too. I thought a shower would help today, but it's still in my head.
What am I going to do with you?
Oh! What?
Another choice.
Another choice. We need, what do you think? Thanks, Becca, I'm glad you're here.
I think yung lower.
Oh, I'm also thinking the lower one. Is the choice. Question. Thanks. I'm glad you're here. Okay, sure, let's go with that.
You are such a big baby.
Woo! We did it, boys.
We did it, boys.
We did it.
100%.
100% relationship.
Now they will scissor.
Puta yun.
Move over. I know how we'll fix this.
Scissor.
He scores.
Ay.
She motions for me to scoot, and I do so, though not without a scoff. Typical Becca, a teacher through and through, regardless of where she is. Then, without notice, she pulls my head to her lap.
Oh.
Oh,
Eat me. Ay.
been up to Rebecca about what happened in the man. Cake!
Kay.
Ako ito yung tsura niya nakanganga. Nakanganga.
On.
I freeze.
What are you doing?
I never free.
I never freeze.
Singing you to sleep like the big baby you are. I may not be as good a singer as you are, but I can handle a few tunes.
Stop treating me like a kid. This is completely unnecessary.
I make an attempt to straighten up, but Becca's persistent. Gently, she pushes my head back down.
I'm kidding. Didn't you say this is how your mom used to lull you to sleep? I just thought you could use something familiar to you.
Nakasapatos pa siya, pare.
Oh,
You're not my mom.
It may sound like a complaint, but we both know the statement has no ill will attached to it.
How are they back home? You said they called?
Good. From what Mama told me, EJ won a medal.
Who's EJ again?
The youngest. A bit chubby on the cheeks. I showed you a picture of him once. You said he looks a little like me, especially around the eyes.
She's quiet as I talk, interrupting only to ask a question. There's something she doesn't understand. I tell her of my 4 younger siblings, little troublemakers, all of them. And of my no-good elder brother who almost landed himself in jail a month ago. Of my sister who had to move away recently to run from her ever-increasing debts. Oh my god, what a family you have. Isa muntik maging kriminal. Ito naman, TNT. Tago. Tinakbuhan yung mga utang.
very good.
But I guess this is canon. We get a little more backstory tungkol sa family ni Isabella.
We are in the canon timeline.
Okay. It's the same old story she heard countless of times. Yet, every time she asks, every time it's brought up, she listens tirelessly. Becca may not believe me about the ghost, but she may have just been listening to help keep my fears at bay.
Bagong creepy ng ngiti ni Isabella.
Oo nga. But for now, I am content. Sleep comes easier tonight, and for the first time in a long time, I dream. What's new in the timeline? Oh, get a new drawing.
Yes.
Rebecca Gales. Of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. October 23rd.
Oh,
Sunday.
that's the ano lang to in the news.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, we went down. Okay.
Wala na tayo sa ano pa. Wala na sa canon timeline.
Paano ba? Although the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends when I allow myself to sleep in for the sake of sleeping in. The clock is flashing 9 a.m. when I open my eyes. Becca's already gone, likely to the library. She has a habit of keeping herself busy even on a weekend. It did leave a note on my fridge reminding me to eat, along with a plate of breakfast on the counter. Really, she gets angry when I call her mom, but then she goes ahead and does things like this. I flop back lazily in my bed. My window, I can hear the world beginning to sleep. I should too. There are still papers to organize, documents to sign, and hand over tomorrow. Yet, just staring at a gloomy white ceiling like this, waking up alone, it's easy to be filled with the irrational need to go back to sleep.
Offering.
Just go back to sleep, man. But I've got calls to make, people to check on, and a good news to deliver. Oh wow, she's calling her mom again. Blindly, I fumble for my phone on the nightstand and dial the number I've been itching to call since yesterday. It rings for a good while. I can already imagine Mama's startled face. She's probably cooking something for dinner right now. Knowing her, she'll turn off the stove first, like she'll always remind me to wash her hands and wipe them thoroughly in her apron before picking up the phone. Small, striking habits I didn't know I'll miss until I've stopped seeing them.
Hello? Santos residence?
What? You don't know the number of your own child? What? Kasi Santos residence? What? You called us using the same number and you don't?
Okay. Saka, if ever man hindi nakasave, sino ba bang ibang tatawag sa'yo na international number?
Okay.
Mama, how are you?
The usual pleasantries, questions about how they're doing, how's life going on back home, bits and pieces, although small, helps form a vague picture of things I've missed in my mind. EJ's excited voice resounds from the other end, and I smile to myself.
What about you? Are you eating well?
You asked that a few days ago, but yeah. And, Mama, I've got something to tell you.
I'm being haunted by a ghost. By a vengeful ghost that's out to kill me.
Saka ang weird. Sabi niya, you said that a few days ago. Kahapon lang sila nag-usap. Di ba?
Oo nga.
Kahapon lang yun.
Oo, kahapon lang. Yeah, marami nangyari kahapon eh. Yeah.
Sige.
Weird.
Minumulto. Sige.
We're no longer in the canon timeline, bro. This is the fucked up timeline now.
Oh no, you're not pregnant, are you?
Oh! You're not pregnant, are you?
What? No! Mama, stop making jokes like that.
This is a serious question, Grace. I've been looking at your face nook.
Face nook.
Face nook. Yeah, nice.
Who is this Ashton? Are you pregnant?
Ayun.
May Facebook naman pala sila. Bakit pa sila natawag ng international?
Oo nga eh. Di ba? Eh, may ano naman sa ano. May FaceTime naman. Or Messenger.
Messenger.
What are you doing, guys? Wasting money. Kaya alam ko na kung bakit, pare. Walang camera yung phone niya. Walang front cam yung phone niya, bro.
Wow.
Hindi sila makapag Hindi makapag-call, bro. Walang camera yung phone.
Who? Ash? No! Oh, good heavens! It isn't like that! We aren't like that! No one's pregnant, Mama!
Well then stop stalling! You're making me nervous, Grace.
So very like Mama to jump to conclusions like that. And against my better judgment, I laugh. Light and surprisingly easier now that the heavy weight has lifted. Mama's clicking her tongue on the other end, impatient by the delay. I want to hug her.
Remember the house? We got a buyer yesterday. I'll be able to send a remittance soon.
Even with hundreds of miles separating us right now, her relief is palpable. The tired lilt in her voice is still there, but it's fading. Perhaps not now, but maybe in the near future. When Papa's well-end distance is not a problem.
The buyer gave us a bonus too. I can send that early while we're waiting to finalize things, because that might take a few days. And then there's...
Grace, stop!
Yes, Mama?
It's okay. Keep it to yourself. You don't have to send everything.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've got enough here. You taught me how to budget properly, didn't you?
Don't you want to buy something for yourself? Or for your friend?
Budget properly? Really? You're eating noodles.
Eating noodles.
Cup noodles, bro. That's not budgeting properly. Kailangan nyo ng ano pare, budginator. Sino mo saan yung budginator mo, boy?
Kailangan ng budgetinator pare.
Rebecca, was it?
Rebecca will complain, Mama.
Then tell her it's from me, as thanks for taking care of my stubborn daughter.
You both sound so alike. But I will. Thanks, Mama.
The call goes longer than usual, and when we hang up, after goodbyes and I love yous have been said, the day appears brighter in my eyes. There are no half-truths and empty promises this time. Light streams through my open windows, the world is fully awake, and last vestiges of sleep has faded from my eyes. What's new in the journal? Oh my god, Mula! Yeah, the queen, bro, it's the queen! God save the queen!
Make it rain.
Maybe a walk is good. I need to visit the grocery too. Come to think of it, wasn't there an art store that opened recently near the park? Dot dot dot. The cat's name is Beruthiel. Or at least that's what his collar says. Beruthiel. An odd name to give a cat, in my opinion. Kaya pala yung pinangalan ko sa kabat ko, no? Beruthiel.
Oh, ano?
Shit, I can still rename it. But no, it's Kobe. Kobe.
Kobe.
Oops. Wait. But it speaks grace, much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes. His tail and his eyes follow my hand's every movement. Not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me after. But your name's Grace, though. So, good enough. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought all of these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat. The company of cat curiously watching my every movement. Hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat. But back at home, they're considered ill-omened.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brothers and a sister does that. Maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. Short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat. As long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path.
Well, where's your owner anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what collar's for, isn't it? The bandage is wrapped on one of its paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat. Not black, of course.
Racist. Why are you a cat racist?
Blasphemy.
And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. I'm about to put it Put one into my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs at it once, twice before...
Baruthia!
Hey, best grill. Best grill.
Oh, asan yung color niya?
Oo nga eh. No, wala nga rin yung color niya. But, cool cat.
Yes.
Graceful cat indeed. Like a good, properly trained pet, Baruthiel responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCullough, hard to miss. Did what with her height?
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you?
Yes, it hurted me. It scratched me.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can finish now.
We can finish.
For update.
Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Baruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthiel's a she.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't go around looking at cats, private parts. She, all this time, I thought. The pause in conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Still, trying to be friendly wouldn't hurt, right? Talk about our job, I know this. Papangat natin yung relasyon niya, pare. 100% din natin.
Oh.
I'm just curious
Laki mo ano.
about your work.
What about it?
There's something guarded in her expression at mention of work, but I pushed through with my question.
I just want to know how it is to work on a house like the Ermengarde mansion. Is it hard?
I guess she wasn't expecting a question like that, if the way her eyebrows shot up tells me something.
Because of its age? I wouldn't say it is. It is a challenge, considering the factors me and my team have to sort out. But it's a good project. A breath of fresh air from what I usually work on. And I have a good team.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. She loves her work. Loves her job. Miss Grill.
Those original fittings, though. It might be old, but the architecture is magnificent. I'm sure you've seen the stained glass windows in the foyer. Oh, I can already think of so many things I could do with it. But of course, my team will have to double check for necessary repairs here and there. That's probably for the best. It's easy to break some key elements with a rush restoration job, and who knows what other hidden issues there might be underneath. People can be so careless. I'm sorry, I spoke too much.
No, it's okay. You seem to really love what you're doing.
It's not really like that. I'm just lucky to have found work in an interesting field. Anyway, Baruthiel's due for her visit to the vet. Nice talking to you, Miss Santos. I wish you luck with what you're planning to work on. It seems like a big project, too.
She gestures with her head towards the bags, the one filled with stuff I've recently bought from the art store.
It's a project for a friend, actually.
All the same, good luck.
I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she has forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion, with my clients, it's the rights, I mean. I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
The letter, same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCullough that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hastened to pick all the bags I've left on the bench and ran as far as my legs can take me. In that moment, what I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to go home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Her. Of my own cowardice. Wait, I'm just gonna check something real quick. Real quick. Uh-huh. Bakit ang pait ng pusa dito?
Alien siya dyan, pare. Alien.
The root feels so thin here. Good cat, nonetheless. Anyway, where are we? Yeah, let's end it. Let's end it now. Para bukas, who's this? Who's next?
Ano, si Zack. Ano si Zack yung sunod?
Oh yeah. Anyway, the food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One would think that someone who had been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what is gnawing at me tonight, neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the things you're trying to forget keep returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
Rose?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
No. No. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone has kept telling me. So why? And I immediately rushed to my study table in search of my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly to it as soon as I touch its edges. Piece of folded paper, the letter, lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I need to call her. I was with her. I was with her not too long ago and she was okay. No. No. No! It isn't Rose, I'm sure of it. I just talked to her and a sob escapes me and the hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another, they trickle down, weighted by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. Same one I've been hiding from. Same one that has put the people I care about in danger. Hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contact. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick it up, tell me to turn down the waterworks, and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again, I died, whispering, praying, pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxborn in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone speakers. But in my ears, I can only hear the screams, her pleas, her whispers. Help me. We are not safe. October 24th, Monday. A buzzing sensation jolts me awake. My body still wants to sleep, forget what I heard, what I saw last night. Kailan nagsimula? So, October 21, mula siya. Kanyang journey. My body still wants to sleep, forget what I heard, what I saw. Nagbabasa ko na pala. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly, I become aware of how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled up position the night before. If I even slept at all. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud. Instead, the words weigh heavier on me each time. He's gone. Gone because of me. Gone because of one letter I was too curious to look at. I should have been more careful. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else had gotten involved. I should have... The notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mockingly when I look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normalcy. Check it, nevertheless, out of habit more than anything. If this were one of those typical days, I'd happily comply and get myself office. Let's read it. All BRC employees, in light of the recent events. What? Hindi na kailangan end. But anyway, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy, and policies will all be discussed during the meeting. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sales reports for the last 6 months to be submitted to your respective manager. We're expecting everyone's copy. Thank you, Joan Alice Schultz, your EHR manager. Today my limbs just feel heavy. One hand going will keep me busy, take my mind elsewhere. The other, the place in itself, is a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. I should just... What do you want to do, bro?
We
Go to work.
go to work.
Let's go to work. Moping won't get me anywhere. Go. Almost at the finish line. This is just... Yeah. This is just like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile, no matter how bad things get, and hope for the best. Yeah, that is right. Deal with it with a smile. Parang ginagawa ni Justin. Ngiti-ngiti lang. Ngiti-ngiti lang, pero nahihirapan na ako. Oh my god. We're mocking people who are, going through stuff. I'm sorry. If you're ever going through stuff, good luck, guy man. Smile. ngiti-ngitian mo lang. Tawa-tawa lang.
You need God.
Yeah. Anyway. Although my whole body feels like lead and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares back at me. They sneer, they ridicule, like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it into my bag, perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. This too I'll deal with. Somehow I'll find a way and make things right. I have to, before it takes more people from me, even if I must do it on my own. Hey, at the office. Papers rustling, telephones ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, today looks like a typical working day at the Briar Realty Corporation. Except it isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has already heard about Rose. If they missed last night's report, they'd likely see it in the morning news, the papers, or on various news sites on the internet. Everywhere is a bitter reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth as though the mere mention of Rose would be enough to trigger something in me. It's appreciated, but it only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose has left. After lunch, my boss calls for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what it is about. He's in a strange, pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead coat. Oddly, I'd appreciate it more if he just shouted at me today. Anything is better.
I'm sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for a funeral, yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors. By the way, has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff? None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word? In my office?
At the end of it, I've been given the entirety of Rose's workload, including finalizing the rights papers, and have been promised an ample compensation for my effort. I think he's expecting me to be happy about it. Instead, I immerse myself in my work. I have to, anyway, if I want to forget. Evening. Boy, employee of the month, pare. At the news, there's me, working. Time flies when you do, and by the time I give notice, it's already late. Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. He remembers people easily like that.
The Luxbourne Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
The radio blares one name after another. Hold on a second. Missing? Aren't they... Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn my back to my desktop. The loud tapping of my fingers against the keys fills the office for the better part of my shift as I look through everything. The background about the place, its history from the current owners, and list of employees hired under BRC. And I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff, they may have a lot of agents hired, but I'd remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew who worked with us in preparing the mansion for the open house. Then the letters... No, that can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
But Rose is...
Something snaps into place in the fraction of a moment. These people, Rose, the letter.
I need to... No, if it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ash often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe, I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but maybe there's still a way I can save them. A letter, my phone, papers, anything that will be useful, I grab all of them and stuff them in my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something those people should. The noise cuts sharply through the room, stopping my hand short of cramming a pen into my bag.
Hello? Anyone there?
Someone must have left their printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person is certainly going to have a fit tomorrow over wasted company resources. Most of the time, it's Rose who does the nagging, but the clicking of my pen in my hand is a welcome distraction as I search for the said object. Each stride my feet takes also echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, and with me being the only one left, the tapping of my feet against the wooden floor is something I soon learn to appreciate. It doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about on the ground, the paper tray having also been left ajar. Sighing, I pick each of it up to put someplace proper. But the page that greets me next makes my blood run cold. The chill that makes its way up my spine is as numbing as that day in the attic. The sheets crinkle under my tense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it rasps through my gritted. But before I can even gather myself, take the first steps out of here, total darkness suddenly envelops me. And as if hearing every horrid thought running inside my head right now, something snaps. A soft creak, grating through the thin veil of stillness that has descended in the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes rigid now. Familiar. So familiar now. Yet my own traitorous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over the cubicle's wall. It's her, standing in the only exit of the office. I'll be facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same misshapen face, tattered clothes, and unsightly gait. The same person in the attic. I take a step back. The pen I'm holding slips from my hand and her entire head turns. A scream almost escapes my mouth and I duck under my table as quickly as I can. My heart is pounding hard against my chest. I can hear the bone-chilling sounds of her walk, the weird clicking that follows her, and telltale squelch of something wet. He walks towards me. Nearer and nearer. Sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping the whimper from escaping me is my hand as it covers my mouth. Someone, please save me. Anyone. I close my eyes, muttering a continuous stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please, don't let her hear me. Oh, shit, please don't. No. Easy. Too good at this. Easy. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose. Oh no, not today, Satan, not today. The seconds, minutes stretch out before me, agonizingly. Is she gone? Slowly, I open my eyes to take a peek. I don't dare move or make a noise. In the face of such terror, I can only beg, without silent pleas to whoever is out there. Please, please don't let her know this. I want to live. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.